We live in a world where knowledge about money is the true key to financial freedom. Ironically, this is the kind of knowledge that is never taught in schools. From a young age, we are placed into an educational system that conditions us to follow a linear path. Study, get a degree, find a good job, and work hard throughout life. This model not only limits people's potential, but also keeps them trapped in a cycle that benefits the economic system without providing financial autonomy. This approach creates generations of obedient workers, prepared to sustain the system, but who never learn how it truly works. The truth is that what separates the rich from the poor is not just the amount of money they have. The difference lies in their mindset and understanding of how money really works. The rich know how to identify assets and liabilities, understand cash flow concepts, and use financial strategies to build and protect their wealth. In contrast, most people remain stuck in a cycle of financial dependence, working hard only to pay bills, settle debts, and deal with taxes. Few realize that this situation is fueled by the lack of financial education, which should be taught from an early age, but is deliberately ignored by the traditional system. The traditional educational model rarely encourages people to think independently about money. Instead, we are taught to seek security, stability, and the comfort of a fixed salary, ignoring the basic principles that could help us achieve financial freedom. This cycle perpetuates dependency, keeping most people in the rat race, a never-ending cycle of working, paying bills, and repeating. The role of financial education. Financial education is the game changer between those who thrive financially and those who struggle to survive. It goes beyond learning how to save. It's about understanding how to generate passive income, invest strategically, and use tools like financial leverage to your advantage. Schools, however, do not cover these topics. Why? Because the educational system is designed to train workers, not entrepreneurs or investors. It encourages the pursuit of secure jobs, but neglects the importance of creating assets that generate consistent income. What do the rich know that others don't? While most people work for money, the rich make money work for them. They understand the fundamental difference between assets and liabilities, something that is never clearly taught to us. Assets are resources that put money in your pocket, such as rental properties, investments that pay dividends, or profitable businesses. Liabilities, on the other hand, take money out of your pocket, such as consumer debt or a primary residence that doesn't generate income. This simple but powerful distinction is one of the main reasons the rich can expand their wealth while others struggle to keep their heads above water. Another point that sets the rich apart is how they use taxes and debt. While most people fear debt and struggle to pay high taxes, the rich use these elements as tools. They understand tax laws and invest in ways that minimize their tax burden. Additionally, they use debt strategically to acquire assets, creating a positive cycle of wealth generation. This approach requires knowledge and courage, but it can completely transform anyone's financial life. Why doesn't the system teach this? The traditional educational system doesn't teach financial education because it wasn't designed to. The primary goal is to create qualified workers to sustain the economic system. Teaching people to be financially independent and escape the rat race would threaten the foundation of this model. If more people understood how money works, fewer would be willing to accept low-paying jobs or accumulate unnecessary consumer debt. This reality, though discouraging, can be transformed. The good news is that knowledge is available for those who seek it. Books, courses, mentors, and practical experiences can teach what schools never did. With dedication and the right mindset, anyone can learn how to build assets, invest wisely, and escape the cycle of financial dependence. A call to action. If we want to achieve true financial freedom, we need to take responsibility for our financial education. This means letting go of limiting beliefs, such as the idea that wealth is only for the privileged, and starting to think strategically about money. It means learning how to create assets, manage liabilities, and find ways to generate passive income that doesn't depend on our time and direct effort. In the end, what truly separates the rich from the poor is not the starting point, but the willingness to learn and apply financial knowledge. Financial freedom is not just a distant dream. It is an achievable goal for those willing to challenge the status quo and build a new way of living. My rich dad, unlike the school system, taught me a crucial lesson. The secret to building wealth is not working hard for money, but learning to make money work for you. He believed that money was a tool, not a goal, and that understanding how to use it strategically was the key to escaping the rat race. This challenging approach breaks traditional beliefs, teaching that you don't need to be a genius or born into a wealthy family to thrive financially. What's needed is a shift in mindset and the acquisition of knowledge that schools don't offer. In this text, we will explore the transformative lessons I learned from my rich dad, from the difference between assets and liabilities to the importance of never working exclusively for money. We will examine how the rich use debt strategically, how the tax system can be used to their advantage, and why it's essential to understand the three types of income: earned, portfolio, and passive. More importantly, we will see how a proactive mindset and smart choices can completely transform your financial reality. These lessons not only reveal secrets about money, but they also open a path to independence and prosperity, challenging the standards imposed by the system. Our educational system, unfortunately, will never reveal these fundamental truths, as it is part of a larger process that perpetuates inequalities and keeps most people in a vulnerable position. Schools will never openly say, "We are training you to be an employee for the rest of your life." But their structures, curricula, and teaching methods condition students to think this way. We don't learn about taxes, investments, or how to generate passive income. These are intentional gaps designed to keep control in the hands of those who already have economic power. This realization may seem bleak, but there's good news. If you look beyond the veil, you can completely change your trajectory. Once you understand the rules of the financial game, you gain the autonomy to make smarter decisions and escape the scarcity cycle. My rich dad taught me how the rich play the game, a game that is completely different from what we learn in schools. He said that while most people work for money, the rich make money work for them. They understand concepts like financial leverage, investments, and cash flow, topics that are never addressed in the classroom. The educational system, on the other hand, trains people to accept a fixed salary and live in fear of losing financial security, perpetuating a scarcity mindset. If you've read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, you know that the rich teach their children what the middle class and the poor never learn: how money really works. Poverty, as my rich dad said, is not just a matter of income. It's a mental state, reinforced by limiting beliefs and a lack of financial education. While the rich teach their children to identify opportunities, manage risks, and invest, the poor and middle class teach their children to fear debt, avoid risks, and settle for the security of a job. More than that, poverty is a cycle that hurts and limits. It is rooted in a system that favors financial ignorance, from school curricula to cultural messages that associate wealth with luck or corruption. This is why so many people believe they will never be rich, or that wealth is reserved for the privileged few. This is the biggest trap of all. Because when you believe something is impossible, you give up trying. I don't like poverty, just as I don't like the corruption in the educational system. It's disappointing to realize that we entrust our children to schools, believing they will prepare them for life. But in reality, what they do is prepare them to sustain the system. The good news is that this can change. With the right knowledge and a willingness to learn, anyone can break out of this cycle and build a prosperous and independent financial future. The power is in your hands, and it all starts with the choice to see the world differently. I remember asking my teacher one day, "When will you teach us about money?" And he replied, "Never." That answer encapsulates the issue. Financial education isn't just about getting a job, working hard, saving money, and investing in a diversified portfolio of stocks and mutual funds. This narrative serves the financial industry, which thrives on debt and taxes. Since 1971, when the U.S. abandoned the gold standard, the U.S. dollar has essentially become a debt. And yet, we tell children, go to school, get a good job, work hard, save money, and stay away from debt. This is one of the biggest lies. Think about it. If saving money really made you rich, why don't the people who print money save it instead of creating more? And why would you work hard to earn something they can produce in seconds? This is the essence of the rich person's game, understanding how money really works and using it strategically, while the rest of society is kept in ignorance. My rich dad taught me the most valuable lessons about money in a way that no school ever would. He always said with conviction, "If you want to succeed in life, you must find the best teachers." But he wasn't referring to the traditional teachers we find in classrooms because, as he said, many of these teachers have never lived the experiences they teach. A true teacher doesn't just pass on information, but shares life lessons learned through practice and overcoming real challenges. My rich dad called the instructors without practical experience false teachers, those who, although well-intentioned, end up perpetuating a system of limiting beliefs about money. One day, I said to him, "I want you to teach me about money." He looked at me seriously and replied, "Why should I teach you? Would you work for me for free?" At first I was confused and asked why I should work without pay. He then explained clearly, "If I pay you, you'll think like an employee. Your brain will be conditioned to work for money, and that will limit you. But if you learn to never work for money, you will become a rich man." This lesson was transformative. He showed me that once a person starts depending on a salary, their brain goes into autopilot. Working for the comfort of a guaranteed paycheck may seem safe, but in reality, it's a trap that keeps people in mediocrity. He compared this to the famous proverb, "Give a man a fish, and he'll have food for a day. Teach him to fish, and he'll have food for a lifetime." This metaphor perfectly illustrates the difference between those who seek immediate security and those who seek true independence. One of the biggest misconceptions he identified was the confusion between assets and liabilities. Most people believe their home is an asset, but my rich dad said, "If money is leaving your pocket, it's a liability. If it's coming in, it's an asset." He taught me to build wealth practically by investing in income-generating assets. Today, I own thousands of rental properties, and each one is an asset that puts money in my pocket every month. Meanwhile, many people go into debt buying homes that drain their resources, thinking they are investing, when they are actually compromising their financial future. Another crucial point he emphasized was the impact of taxes. Few people understand that taxes are their biggest expense. They consume a significant portion of your income, and many don't even realize it. Have you ever looked at your paycheck and thought, "This doesn't seem right"? That feeling is the government putting its hand in your pocket without you noticing. The most surprising thing is that most people do nothing to minimize this loss simply because they don't know how. The rich, on the other hand, do not work for money. They understand how the different types of income work and use that to their advantage. There are three main types of income. Earned income, money that comes from work, like a doctor's or programmer's salary. This is the most taxed income and therefore the least efficient. Portfolio income, coming from investments like buying an apple for $10 and selling it for $20. Although less taxed than earned income, it still faces significant taxes. Passive income, generated from assets like real estate, royalties, or businesses. This income, when structured correctly, can be tax-free. When I see people calling for taxing the rich, I can't help but think, good luck. The truth is, the rich dominate the financial game. They know how to structure their income so that the tax impact is minimal. Meanwhile, the poor and middle class send their children to schools that teach nothing about money or financial intelligence. My rich dad introduced these concepts practically by playing Monopoly with me. He would say, 4 greenhouses, 1 red hotel. It was more than a game. It was a simulation of the real world. He also used the example of McDonald's to illustrate how the truly rich think. Although many believe McDonald's is in the hamburger business, it's actually in the real estate business. They sell hamburgers to generate revenue, but they use that money to acquire the best land in the world, which significantly reduces their taxes. Another example he shared was that of billionaires like Jeff Bezos. Bezos has billions of dollars and still pays almost no taxes. This isn't cheating. It's a deep understanding of the tax system. Anyone can do this, as long as they have the necessary financial education. After the 2008 crisis, while many were losing everything, the banks offered me $300 million. Why? Because I knew how to structure my finances and use debt as a tool. Most people fear debt, but my rich dad taught me that debt, when used strategically, can be a powerful lever for generating wealth. These lessons are not taught in schools. The educational system was designed to create employees, not entrepreneurs. But once you understand the rules of the financial game, assets and liabilities, taxes, passive income, and the strategic use of debt, you'll never say again, "I can't afford that." Instead, you'll learn to ask, "How can I afford that?" The difference between the rich and the poor is not just in resources, but in mentality. While many repeat, "I can't do this," the rich ask, "How can I do this?" This simple change in perspective is the first step towards financial independence. More than money, what you truly gain is freedom and control over your life. The most valuable lesson we can learn in life is this: do not fear failure. It's not an insurmountable obstacle, but an inevitable and necessary step on the path to growth and success. Despite this, many people spend their lives avoiding mistakes, guided by the fear of failure or the shame of not meeting expectations. This fear paralyzes them, keeps them trapped in comfort zones, and prevents them from exploring new horizons. However, the truth is that mistakes are the most effective teachers. It is through them that we understand what works and what doesn't. We hone our resilience, and we accumulate wisdom for the future. Replacing the limiting thought of, "I can't," with the powerful question, "How can I?" is a paradigm shift that completely transforms how we view challenges. When you say, "I can't," you close all doors to the solution and reinforce the idea that you're stuck in your circumstances. But when you ask, "How can I?" you activate your creativity and start seeing possibilities where you once only saw barriers. This change not only stimulates your mind to find solutions, but also redefines your relationship with challenges. They stop being insurmountable problems and become opportunities for learning and innovation. This mindset shift is what separates those who remain stuck in the cycle of poverty from those who find a path to prosperity. The rich do not fear failure. They understand that every mistake contains a valuable lesson, a step in the process of personal growth. They know that true growth happens only when you push beyond your comfort zone, when you challenge your limits and stretch yourself to new heights. It's not that the rich are immune to fear, setbacks, or difficulties, but they choose to acknowledge and overcome these emotions rather than let them paralyze their actions. They understand that failure is temporary, a momentary obstacle that doesn't define their potential. The knowledge gained from each failure, however, is lasting and helps them build resilience and wisdom for the future. Moreover, the rich don't shy away from risk. They don't avoid challenges simply because there is uncertainty involved. Instead, they embrace risk, but with strategy. They learn how to assess, manage, and mitigate risks, understanding that taking calculated risks is an essential part of the journey toward success. They know that without risk, there is no reward, and that the bigger the risk, the greater the potential for growth, both personally and financially. While most people view risk as something to be feared, the rich see it as an opportunity to leverage knowledge, experience, and insight to their advantage. This mindset enables them to stay ahead, to innovate, and to seize opportunities that others might overlook. This approach goes beyond simple positive thinking. It's a commitment to continuous learning and the willingness to question the very beliefs that hold you back. The rich understand that success isn't a destination but a lifelong journey, one filled with both triumphs and failures. Every challenge, every setback is simply another lesson to be learned, another opportunity to grow stronger. They embrace life's natural ebb and flow, knowing that each fall is not an end but a chance to rise again, better and more resilient. In this way, they continuously evolve, adapt, and refine their understanding of the world and how they engage with it. Failure, when accepted as an inevitable part of the journey, stops being a barrier and becomes a springboard for growth. This shift in perspective is crucial for progress. It is not about whether you will face challenges, but how you will respond to them. The world is full of obstacles, but those who succeed don't see them as permanent roadblocks. They understand that by maintaining the right mindset, the key lies in how they approach these challenges. as opportunities to learn, adapt, and persevere. Those who remain trapped in the belief that something is impossible are often trapped in their own limiting self-talk, perpetuating cycles of fear, doubt, and frustration. On the other hand, those who transform these beliefs into a search for solutions create a space for growth, not just personally, but professionally, financially, and even spiritually. This transformation begins with the courage to change your internal dialogue. Stop telling yourself, "I can't do this," and start asking yourself, "How can I do this?" The difference between success and failure often lies in the questions we ask ourselves. This simple mental shift has the power to redefine your entire approach to challenges. Instead of shutting doors before they're even opened, you begin to see opportunities where you once saw obstacles. By embracing failure as a learning tool and adopting a solution-oriented mindset, you'll discover that there are virtually no limits to what you can achieve. This isn't just about positive thinking. It's about actively transforming your thought patterns to unlock your potential. Think about it. The most significant breakthroughs in life, whether in your career, personal life, or financial endeavors, are often reserved for those who dare to take action, learn from their mistakes, and persist despite setbacks. The true key to prosperity lies not in overcoming external obstacles alone, but in overcoming the internal barriers that frequently hold us back: fear, doubt, hesitation, and insecurity. These internal barriers can feel overwhelming, but they are not insurmountable. The first step to breaking free from their grip is recognizing their presence. Once you do, you can start to dismantle them piece by piece. So, the next time you face an obstacle, remember that the most powerful question you can ask yourself is, "How can I?" This seemingly simple question has a profound impact because it forces your brain to search for solutions rather than fixate on problems. It's in this shift from limitation to possibility that true growth begins. Growth doesn't come from avoiding challenges. It comes from confronting them head-on, adapting, and moving forward with resilience. Throughout my journey, I've discovered two essential components for achieving long-term success: financial education and mental resilience. These are not just important, they are foundational keys that unlock a world of possibilities. Financial education, for instance, goes far beyond the basic understanding of earning or saving money. It's about mastering the principles of wealth creation, understanding how assets work, recognizing the flow of money, and learning to make that flow work in your favor. This knowledge empowers you to take control of your financial destiny, turning money into a tool to build the life you want instead of letting it control you. However, financial education alone isn't enough. The ability to persevere through tough times, to stay focused on your long-term vision, and to bounce back from failures is just as critical. This is where mental resilience comes into play. Mental resilience is not something we're born with. It's a skill we develop through practice, reflection, and persistence. It's the ability to face adversity with a clear mind and a positive outlook. It's the strength to keep going when things get hard, to manage your emotions in the face of disappointment, and to maintain focus on your goals even when progress feels slow or invisible. Think about the challenges you've faced in your own life. Perhaps there was a time when you thought a particular setback was insurmountable, yet here you are. That's the power of resilience. It's not about never falling. It's about always getting back up. The only real failure is giving up entirely. When you choose to persevere, you turn every setback into an opportunity to learn and grow. This mindset doesn't just help you survive difficult times, it helps you thrive in the face of them. The combination of financial education and mental resilience creates an unstoppable force. Together, these two pillars provide the foundation for a life of achievement and fulfillment. Financial education gives you the tools to build stability and abundance, while mental resilience ensures you have the strength to weather the storms that come your way. These two skills work hand in hand, each reinforcing the other to propel you forward, no matter what challenges lie ahead. Let's dive deeper into financial education. At its core, financial education is about understanding the rules of the game so you can play to win. It's not just about accumulating wealth, it's about knowing how to make your money work for you. This includes learning how to invest, understanding the principles of compounding, and recognizing the value of diversifying your income streams. It also means adopting a mindset of abundance, where you see money as a resource to create opportunities, rather than as a source of stress or fear. But even the best financial strategies can fall short if you don't have the mental resilience to execute them consistently. Life is unpredictable and challenges are inevitable. Markets fluctuate, businesses face setbacks, and personal circumstances can change in an instant. Without resilience, it's easy to get discouraged or make impulsive decisions that derail your progress. Resilience, however, keeps